Eagles fans, Howie Roseman, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, the management, they just don't stop, do they? Right? If you haven't heard by now, right, the Philadelphia Eagles have traded their tight end Harrison Bryant to the Houston Texans, and they are receiving John Metchie, former wide receiver of the Alabama Crimson Tide, former teammate of Devontae Smith, right? They are trading for John Metchie, and they are exchanging player for player, and the Philadelphia Eagles are sending a 5th-round pick to the Texans, and the Texans are sending back a 6th-round pick. These are 2 picks that these 2 teams traded earlier in the year when they got Kenyon Green and they traded over C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So they're just pretty much exchanging those 2 picks, right? But for the Philadelphia Eagles, right, there's a lot of questions for the Philadelphia Eagles as far as, at least for us as fans and for the Philadelphia Eagles, as far as what does this mean for the bottom of the wide receiver roster, right? I already thought that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to keep 6 wide receivers, right, because they've shown that they can play this football game, right? And the Philadelphia Eagles have some young talent that they very well may lose to the practice squad if they put them on there, right? So a lot of us want to know what's going to happen with Darius Cooper and what's going to happen with Ainias Smith. Or does this impact Johnny Wilson, right? A lot of people think that Johnny Wilson's job is secure. He didn't play a lot in the game that they just had against Cleveland over on Friday night or Saturday afternoon or whatnot. But how do the Philadelphia, is Johnny Wilson's blocking that good? I mean, just think about it. If you got John Metchie on the team, you got Jahan Dotson, and you got A.J. Brown, and you got Devontae Smith, right? Like, how much does Johnny Wilson get on the field to block, right? I think that maybe we're overplaying Johnny Wilson's value. Maybe he didn't play in that game because maybe there's a possible trade coming up with Johnny Wilson, right? You know, maybe there's a team out there who thinks they can utilize him, and they don't want the Philadelphia Eagles to put him on potentially on a practice squad and him be, coming to waivers and another team being able to pick him up. Because now that you bring Jonathan Metchie, I don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles want to potentially lose a guy like Cooper, right? I also don't think that they want to lose a guy like Ainias Smith, right? This is a draft pick. They used a draft pick on Ainias Smith. There's a lot of potential in Ainias Smith, right? And now that they got Darius Cooper, this is a player that they want to keep. This is exactly the type of player that you use on a 5th spot or a 6th spot, right? So as much as I like the initial thought of Johnny Wilson, for me, right, we're going to find out how it plays out, in the next week or two as the Philadelphia Eagles get ready for the start of the regular season. But for me, right, guys, and comment down below, let me know who is the wide receiver for you who's going to be the odd man out, right, between Johnny Wilson, between Ainias Smith, and between Darius Cooper, right, because Jonathan Metchie is going to be on this team, right? He's Devontae Smith's best buddy. Jalen Hurts is familiar with him, right? And we know he's got great pedigree, so we understand that the Philadelphia Eagles just made this trade to bolster their wide receiving core to give us the chance that if A.J. Brown is out for a while, if Devontae Smith is out for a couple games, we can still get production from our wide receiver spot, both on the outside, inside, wherever we needed to go from, right? So great trade from the Eagles all the way around. Harrison Bryant wasn't going to get much playing time. This is another trade in where the Philadelphia Eagles, because of their depth, right, they were able to get a player that they actually needed, right? Just a week ago, right? Just a week ago, Howie Roseman trades Booker, right? Trades Booker over to the Las Vegas Raiders, because I said Oakland last time. A lot of you guys was down there in my comments, right? But he trades Booker to the Oakland Raiders, and in exchange, he gets back Jakorian Bennett, right? Who looked good finally once he settled down, finally after he's gotten comfortable after the trade to get his mind settled in and being where his feet is here in Philadelphia. He looked good in the game against the Cleveland Browns, and it's only just the beginning of what he has to show. Right. So, and now Howie Roseman, again, a week later, right, is trading the tight end who's not going to see much time on the playing field, right, who's probably going to get cut by the Philadelphia Eagles, right, and then he's been able to trade them to the Houston Texans, Right now, I'm not sure. Maybe I was reading some articles online. The Houston Texans are not really getting great production from their tight end in terms of blocking both against the run and against the pass. So Harrison Bryant is a guy who has some ability to get out and route and catch the ball, but he is a good pass and run blocker. So I'm possibly thinking that that's the reason. Maybe he'll play behind Schultz, and Schultz will be the pass catching tight end, and he'll be more of the inline run blocking tight end. You know, some of the teams use it that way. So just a great job of being able to look at the depth on the roster and being able to use the depth on the roster and get a piece that you need, because Jonathan Metchie is a guy who has an abundance of talent, comes from a great program, great background, understands how to work, how to come in, and he's going to have Devontae Smith there, right? You know, some reassurance, some reacquaintance, right? Some familiarity there, which makes that transition a lot easier when you're coming on to a football team, right? And so hopefully, you know, he's got 3 weeks to get acclimated to the system. I'm sure there are some things that Devontae Smith can be able to utilize that help him be able to learn the playbook a little bit quicker. And we'll just see, man. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do a lot more passing. I've already thought that this year, either way, right? I already thought that we were going to play more 3 wide receiver sets, flex Dallas Goedert out, or run some 4 wide receiver sets, right? Because we know that teams want to stop Saquon Barkley. And how do you stop Saquon Barkley? You load up the box in the middle, right? But can you load up the box in the middle when you got 4 wide receivers, or you got a 3 wide receiver set, 3 wide receiver flex trip set out here, and then Dallas Goedert just flexes himself out from being online, and then he's out, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just brings people outside of the box. And the Philadelphia Eagles have one of the biggest offensive lines in the National Football League. So if you got 5 players that's blocking 5 players that's inside, I like the Philadelphia Eagles' chance, even if there's 6 guys inside that box right there. I like the Philadelphia Eagles' chances, and I like Saquon and Barkley's chances at making a guy miss, right? Like, you gotta love making 2 guys miss, if at all possible, right? And so I just think, like, the Philadelphia Eagles are being prepared, right? They're preparing themselves, I think, not only on offense but on defense too. We'll do another video looking at some of the defensive snaps that we got, looking at some of the different alignments that we had, some of the different motions that we have from the defense, right? And I'm telling you, man, when the Kobe Dean gets back, right, it's just gonna make things even better, right, on both sides of the ball. The Philadelphia Eagles are absolutely playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, man. This is your boy TK, the official. This is TK Sports Talk. The Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, does it, did it again, man. The Philadelphia Eagles trade their tight end Harrison Bryant to the Houston Texans and receive in return Jonathan Metchie, and he's going to add to this wide receiving core. He's going to add to Jalen Hurts, and I'm sure he's going to be a guy I'll be able to trust in. I just think we're in for a great season, man. It's your boy TK, the official, man. I'm out of here. It's TK Sports Talk. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video, man. Hey, y'all already know. Go Birds. I'm out.